In February of 2025, we as the Grizzly true crime community watched the Megan Boswell trial together, which was highly anticipated and took 5 years to get to. Meaning from the time that Megan Boswell was arrested for the murder of her daughter, 1-year-old Evelyn Boswell. 5 years later, the trial finally happened. And we were just all so excited to see a chronological timeline and see what really happened based on the little bit that we knew before the trial. Unfortunately, the timeline was lacking a little bit from the state. And so many people send me emails and have left comments saying, please, my name is Grizzly, by the way, please Grizzly, please can you make a timeline? So that's what I did. I've made a chronological timeline for us so that we can really understand why the state said in their opening statements that Evelyn was last seen on December 6th of 2019. They didn't really give a vague date, like sometime between December 6th and 20th. They said she was last seen alive on December 6th of 2019. So if it's been bugging you, it's also been bugging me. And so let's do a deep dive of this case in the context of a chronological timeline, lots of bullet points. So if you like presentations, bullet points, things like that, then this video is for you. If you want to check out the trial, of course, the replay is available for you to look at anytime. There's a Megan Boswell trial playlist. We did 2 episodes of trial prep. We looked at all of her media interviews in chronological order as well. And then every single day of the trial, which was only an 8-day trial in the end, even though we all thought it'll be like a month-long trial, it ended up being 8 days. Oh my word. So it is all time-stamped for you so you can easily navigate to any witness that you want to see. If you want to deep dive the evidence that they had against Megan Boswell or some of the exhibits that they showed or things like that. I'm going to show you a little bit here, but it would be here forever if I were going to recap the entire trial. Okay, we'd need like 4 days at least. So let's do our best here just to understand the timeline. Please note that this content is for educational purposes and for adults only. Viewer discretion advised. More details available in the description box. Evelyn Mae Boswell was born on November 21st of 2018 in Bluntville, Sullivan County, Tennessee. Her mom is Megan Boswell. Her dad was not revealed in court records. So there's a lot of rumor online about who Evelyn's biological dad may or may not be. I don't know. They didn't say it in court, so I don't want to speculate. And I also don't want to speculate about how Megan got pregnant, because I've seen that happen as well, based on her foster mom saying that Megan told her that she was SA'd. So I don't want to go down that rabbit hole because we just don't have concrete proof of who Evelyn's biological father is. So Evelyn was last seen in early December of 2019, and she was only 12 months old when she died. So it's often reported that she was 15 months old, but she was actually truly only 12 months old when she died. She was 15 months old in theory when her grandfather reported her missing, and her mother was saying on media interviews that, she would be 15 months old today. But unfortunately, she only ever had one birthday. So she was reported missing by her grandpa, Tommy Boswell Sr., who's Megan Boswell's father. We're going to look at a map of the family in a moment. And that was on February 18th of 2020. So it took a long time for her to be reported missing. And of course, immediately, the police jumped on the case. They were looking for her. There were cadaver dogs, drones, trackers, search teams, just everything to find this little girl. On March 6th of 2020, her body was discovered on her grandfather's property in her mom's abandoned childhood playhouse. She was buried in the Glenwood Cemetery and Chapel Mausoleum. So there's a picture on the right-hand side there of her tombstone. Thank you to everyone who sent that to me as well, because we were wondering about that during the trial. So let's quickly look at who's Megan Boswell. Megan Boswell was born on March 21st in 2001 in Bluntville, Tennessee, to Angela Boswell and Tommy Boswell Sr. She's currently, in 2025, she's 23 years old. She has 3 siblings, Tommy Jr., Elijah, and Charlotte. Her parents struggled with substance abuse and there was domestic violence in the home. They got divorced in 2014 and then they got back together. Then they separated again in 2018. Megan was between the age of 13 and 18 during all of this chaos at the time. Megan was put in foster care when she was pregnant due to truancy, meaning she just refused to attend school, and so she was put in foster care. Her foster mom is Gail Kite, and she did testify at the trial as well. Megan attended Sullivan Central High School and studied at Northeast State Community College. On February 26th of 2020, she was arrested and charged with false reporting to the police. Eventually, she'd rack up 12 counts of false reporting to the police and other horrendous charges. We'll get to that now. So in August of 2020, she was charged with the felony murder of Evelyn. And in June of 2024, she was charged with first-degree premeditated murder. On February 13th of 2025, Megan was found guilty on all 19 counts, and the jury recommended a sentence of life with the possibility of parole. She's going to be sentenced in May of 2025. In fact, it was 3 life sentences with the possibility of parole. So the defense did the math, and then we did the math, and we figured that she would be eligible for parole when she's 69 years old, because she's 23 now. And that's obviously if it's just those. Those are just on the murder charges. The judge can still add more time on top of that for all the other charges, which we'll have to wait to see in May of 2025. There's quite a lot of drama surrounding the media and cameras in the courtroom and the judge. In fact, the camera person got arrested and they are due in court on March 7th of 2025 because by mistake they showed the jury. So I don't know if we'll actually be able to see the sentencing, but I really hope that we will be. Let's hope that Court TV or someone fights for that opportunity, right? It was a local news station's camera person that unfortunately showed the jury, and the judge was very upset. Okay, so I'm going to make myself a little bit smaller here, and I'm going to make this bigger for you so that you can really see everything. So starting top left, Danny Boswell is Tommy's dad. There's Tommy. That's Megan's dad, right? So that's Megan's grandfather. And his wife is Mary O'Mommy Boswell. Now, Danny has passed away. Mary O'Mommy Boswell, the grandma, testified at the trial. So you've got Megan at the bottom there, right? Her parents are Tommy Boswell Sr. and Angela Boswell, or Angel as they refer to her as a nickname. Megan's foster mom is Gail Kite, as you can see top right. Angela's boyfriend at the time, I don't know if he's still her boyfriend or not, is William McLeod. Megan Boswell is, of course, Evelyn Boswell's mom, and she was charged with her murder and many other charges. Megan was dating Hunter Wood in December of 2019 and January and a little bit just leading up to when Evelyn obviously was reported missing. And in high school, Megan dated pretty much throughout high school Ethan Perry. And Ethan and the whole world believed that he was the dad of Evelyn because of what Megan said, but because Megan threw him under the bus, they went to check on him to see if Evelyn was with him, did a DNA test, and it turned out that he's not Evelyn's father. And then so here's the mystery man, Evelyn's dad, which we'll just leave be. I'm sure you can find things on Reddit, on Facebook, on social media, whatever. But as I say, I like to stick to facts and court records, so I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole and dig up someone's social media who I'm not too sure if he's the dad or not. Now, this is a very important diagram, shall we call it, of when was Evelyn last seen and by who. This is everything we wanted to see in closing arguments, isn't it? Okay, so starting top left. Ethan Perry last saw Evelyn in September of 2019, and that's when Megan drove all the way to El Paso, Texas with Evelyn in the car. And she actually said that she had to wake Evelyn up to feed her, and she was like passed out for 24 hours. A lot of people wondered, was she drugging her? Was she knocking her out? What the hell is that all about? Which, based on the case, is plausible. So Ethan Perry last saw Evelyn in September of 2019. Then Gail Kite last saw Evelyn also in September 2019. Then Erica Stacy that lady next to Gail Kite, okay, third from the left, she is the mother of one of Megan's ex-boyfriends, Caleb. Now, some people, because they don't see the timeline, the visual timeline, they think, what if Caleb could be Evelyn's dad? Well, he can't be, because when they started dating, Evelyn was already born. Evelyn was like 6 months old, right? And Megan dated Caleb for 2 to 3 months or so. We're going to go through a comprehensive timeline. This is just a quick diagram of who last saw Evelyn and when, right? So Caleb's mother is Erica Stacy, and Erica Stacy really wanted to help Megan, you know, especially as a single mom. And so she did so, and she last saw Evelyn in September of 2019. Then we have Paul Miller, that's Ethan Perry's step-grandfather, last saw Evelyn October 2019. He said close-ish to Halloween. Then Audrey Gibbs, that is one of, or was one of, Megan Boswell's best friends, and she last saw Evelyn around October 31st. She said October 31st of 2019 at a baby shower. Okay, so you can see this is chronological, starting from the top going that way, and now here we go. Then we have Bailey Hawkins, who last saw Evelyn mid to end November of 2019. The state alleges Evelyn was last seen alive on December 6th of 2019. Okay, so next to Bailey Hawkins, we have Crystal Saltz, who is Megan's foster sister. And she last saw Evelyn on November 28th of 2019. Then we've got Tommy Boswell, who also last saw Evelyn on November 28th of 2019, which was obviously Thanksgiving. We've got Caitlin Carter, very important witness. Okay, this is why we want this timeline, because between Caitlin Carter and Sue Whitson, the last on the right-hand side, we just weren't sure, well, who saw her last and what is the state really saying, right? Caitlin Carter said early December. We're going to get into a more comprehensive timeline in a moment. And then we've got Sue Whitson, who's actually Megan's foster mom, Gail Kite's sister. And she babysat Evelyn. She said in the last week of November of 2019, or, you know, the first week of December. And in closing arguments, the state said that they believe she would be the person who took the last picture ever of Evelyn seen alive, and they think she would have been the last person to see her alive. So those last two very important witnesses in this timeline as well. Now, just a quick recap here of this Megan Boswell trial. Opening statements started on February 5th of 2025, and closing arguments and the verdict was that took place on February 13th of 2025. And there were two verdicts. One was obviously for the guilt or innocence phase, and she was found guilty on all counts by the jury. And then they entered the penalty phase, and then the jury had to go deliberate again. So there was another verdict on what they had decided, which we had discussed before, right? There were 8 days of trial. The jury was sequestered this entire time, 8 men, 6 women, and sentencing is scheduled at this time for May 22nd of 2025. It's always subject to change, so just write that in pencil in your diary. If you're watching from the future, I don't know, maybe it happened, maybe it changed, we'll have to see. So these are the charges that she was found guilty of. First-degree premeditated murder, first-degree murder in the perpetration of aggravated child abuse and aggravated child neglect, aggravated child abuse, aggravated child neglect, tampering with evidence, 11 counts of false reports to the police, abuse of a corpse, and failure to report a death under suspicious, unusual, or unnatural circumstances. She had initially faced 12 counts of false reporting to the police, but the state dismissed one of those counts at the start of the trial, which was a defense motion and objection, and all sorts happened. This was really quite a dramatic trial. So if you didn't see it, I would hope you go check it out, because it really isn't one to miss. And if you feel like, oh no, the trials are so long, they're not for me, don't worry. They are all defluffed, which means there's no coffee breaks, there's no lunch breaks, there's no long pauses. You can watch it at 1.5 speed if you want, if you can. I always like watching things on like a faster speed. You guys know that. And everything's time-stamped for you, so you can just very easily navigate through it and catch up. So now there's 2 properties that are very important in this case. Okay, one, because this was also confusing, and I really wish that the state had made this very, very clear, right? Okay, so Tommy Boswell's property on Muddy Creek Road. Now, if we look at the picture on the right-hand side, that is the abandoned Playhouse, Megan Boswell's abandoned childhood playhouse, which had stuff in there full of dust, except for a trash can and a bag that seemed new, right? It seemed like it was put there more recently, and that is where they found Evelyn Boswell's remains, in that trash can. And it was so horrendous that she was found wrapped in a blanket. Her head was wrapped in foil. She was placed upside down in a trash bag in the trash can with stuff on top of her in that playhouse. Okay, and then there's also, if you look at the bottom right hand picture, you could see there's this like white shed with a door that can roll up. Okay, and there was a lot of Evelyn's stuff put in there as well, you know, from swings and toys and bags full of things. That was all in proximity to that. So if we look at this little diagram, which was drawn by one of the lead investigators who went out to the property initially, some people were laughing at his drawing, but just remember, he was probably standing there just quickly jotting it down. It's very critical information, right? So it was Detective Brian, or Special Agent Brian Fraley, that drew this. And at the very top, it says Tommy Boswell trailer, like all the way up there. You see it? If I bring this down here, this is Tommy Boswell's trailer, but it's actually a house. He said it's not a trailer, it's a house. And then the playhouse, the shed, and there's a residence there, which is Mommy's, Megan Boswell's grandmother, Tommy's mother, stayed here. And she sometimes babysat Evelyn, right? So these properties are in proximity to this residence. And it's important because Tommy says that Megan was actually raised by his parents, right? Which they would live here, just down the hill from his home, okay? So she literally chucked her daughter away in a place where she grew up in. And it's really strange. We do love dumb criminals because they get caught, but I'm just like, wow, it's Tennessee. There's so many mountains, rivers, all sorts of things. It's amazing that she, like, what was her plan? I still wonder if she was going to put Evelyn in a trash can in that playhouse, and then was she just going to leave her there forever, or what? That was a very strange thing that she did, especially thinking that she wouldn't get caught. So that's property one, Tommy Boswell's property, her dad's property, where Evelyn's body was found. There's another property that's very important, a trailer park on Sugar Hollow Road. This property was owned by Tommy Boswell Jr., Megan's brother, okay? And Megan, we're going to go over timeline now of where she lived and when, but she had stayed in this trailer for some time with Evelyn. And you could see here, it's very dirty, definitely no place to raise a child. And there's a guy that Tommy Sr. asked to clean this trailer out when Megan had left. And he said that there were dirty diapers caked on the floor, food and feces on the ground. His name was Austin Feller. And there was also a stroller found in a shed near this trailer. They'd also gone like under the house and dug around in there, and they brought like a paper bag. Well, they had an evidence bag, right? They put something in it. They said it was a piece of styrofoam and also a pillow. We didn't hear anything about that in this trial of, well, what did that pan out to be, or was it nothing? So this would be the trailer where Megan then went to live. So there's Tommy Boswell's property, the playhouse, the shed, her grandma's house, all of that. This is the other property, okay, on Sugar Hollow Road. Muddy Creek Road, Sugar Hollow Road. All right. Now, are you ready for a deep dive on this timeline? I'm so ready. Okay. So Megan lived with Tommy's, her dad's, mom and dad. So she lived with her grandparents when she was growing up. That's according to his testimony, which was on the same property just down the hill from Tommy's house from around 2003. She met Ethan Perry in high school and they dated throughout high school. Megan got pregnant around March of 2018. She went to live with Gail Kite, a foster mom, from late 2018, September, October 2018. All the way to, well, it's not all the way, it's not many months, but to February of 2019. She would visit Tommy, her dad, okay, on weekends. On November 21st of 2018, Evelyn was born while Megan was living with Gail. Megan moved back in with Tommy in approximately February or March of 2019. Tommy had a son, a daughter, and a fiance, Ashley, also living at the house. By March of 2019, Megan and Evelyn went to live, they left the foster mom, they went to go live with Tommy, Megan's dad. And when I say they left the foster mom, be very clear, they left Megan's foster mom. And she was there, remember, because of truancy. And so some people get confused and think that Evelyn had a foster mom. She did not. She had a mom, Megan, who did not take care of her properly at all. And now is obviously convicted of her murder. So that says everything you need to know about her mom status, right? I'm going to say mom like this. So she moved back in with her, Megan moved back in with her dad, February, March 2019. And then the fiance was also there of Tommy. So by March of 2019, Megan and Evelyn went to live with Tommy. And around that time, Megan also dated this guy, Caleb, for 2 to 3 months in the spring or summer of 2019. And remember, Caleb's mom is Erica Stacy. Now, she lived there for a few months, and then Tommy and Ashley had an issue with her not cleaning her room. So they moved her out and said, don't worry, we're going to prepare a trailer for you and for Evelyn. And so in the interim, Megan lived with her grandmother, mommy, right, for approximately 2 weeks while they prepared a trailer for her at Sugar Hollow Road. Then, in September of 2019, Megan went to Erica Stacy's house, her ex-boyfriend then, because her and Caleb only dated for a few months. So Megan went to Erica Stacy's house, and Erica put decals on Megan's car, and that was the last time that she saw Evelyn. Megan then drove to El Paso, Texas, to visit Ethan Perry, who was in the Army. He joined the Army straight out of high school. He was, I think he's 2 years or so older than Megan. So when he left high school, he joined the Army and he was stationed out there. And Megan wanted him to come home, even though he is not Evelyn's dad. She asked him to come home. He declined. He said, I'm like kind of in the Army, serving the country over here. And so she decided, you know what? I'm going to go find him. I'm just going to go there and visit. Just spontaneously. So she drove all the way from Bluntville, Tennessee to El Paso, Texas to visit Ethan Perry with Evelyn for a few days. So they got to spend some time together. That must have been really awkward for him. And we have seen some very concerning stalking behavior from Megan with multiple guys throughout this trial, right? Now, in October of 2019, Paul Miller, Ethan's step-grandfather, met Evelyn. And everybody at the time believed, oh, this is my great-granddaughter, and like this is family, because everybody believed until this trial opening statements when the state said that Ethan wasn't actually the dad. Like, what? So everybody believed that Ethan was the dad. So the family of Ethan's was so excited to meet baby Evelyn, right? So October 2019, Paul Miller, Ethan's step-grandfather, met Evelyn. Megan then moved into this trailer at Sugar Hollow Road with Evelyn. She then told her dad that she'd moved in with Hunter. We'll get to that timeline too. Hunter was her boyfriend throughout that time. Now, in November of 2019, Megan said that her and Ethan had broken up. Then Audrey Gibbs, her friend, moved to Knoxville, Tennessee. Between November 15th and the 30th, Bailey Hawkins last saw Evelyn at Speedway in lights at the Bristol Motor Speedway, which is like a whole show. November 21st of 2019 was Evelyn's first birthday. November 28th of 2019, Thanksgiving, the last time that Tommy Boswell Sr. saw Evelyn. Then, on December 2nd of 2019, Hunter T's Chicken Shack was opened. The owner was Randy Wood. He was taking applications. Megan had applied to work there. She got the job. She also told him, when he asked, do you have children? Do we have to work around this? She said, I have a baby girl, but don't worry. She's with her dad. So I can work full-time all the time, but that wasn't true. Evelyn was at the trailer. The one we saw earlier, the dirty trailer. She left Evelyn there, it seems like, for hours and hours and days while she was at work. Now, on December 2nd of 2019, Megan started working at Hunter T's Chicken Shack, which was open from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Saturday. It seems like initially when they opened, it was even 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. And that's interesting because of how much time Megan spent there. like sometimes late into the night. So who knows what all she was doing there, clearly in the parking lot, because the place was closed. But okay, so that would be Monday to Saturday. So she would have Sundays off. Everyone would. Now she told Bailey, her friend, that Grandma watched Evelyn while she was there every day. But from everything we learned at the trial, it seems like she just left Evelyn alone in that trailer for all the time that she was working and pretending like, don't worry about it. I don't have to look after a child, okay? The baby daddy's got her. On December 3rd of 2019, Megan asks Gail Kite, her foster mom, if her foster mom's sister Sue would babysit Evelyn. Megan moved in with Hunter, so Tommy had someone, Austin Feller, clean the trailer out. On Thursday, December 5th of 2019, Evelyn had a pediatrician appointment. Megan says she thought it was the next day. So she just pretended like, oh, I didn't know it was today. I thought it was the next day. Okay. Now what's important with this moved in with Hunter story is there's definitely still gaps in the timeline of where the hell was she? When she wasn't in the trailer and she wasn't quite yet really with Hunter, and Hunter's dad said that she only stayed there like 2 or 3 times. How long? For how long? Okay. And where was she in between? In fact, that Austin Feller mentioned, she'd already moved out when he got there and cleaned out the trailer, obviously. And he said she was in an unknown location. And that's very accurate. If you think about all the days and the time, I just can't see that she was like immediately moved in with Hunter, right? Because she only met Hunter on December 2nd of 2019. And by December 6th, after that, Evelyn was no longer seen ever again. Okay, so you following? All right, so Thursday, December 5th, Evelyn had a pediatrician appointment. She always went for her like quarterly checkups, especially being a new baby. And she missed that one, and Megan said, oh, she thought it was the next day. Caitlin Carter went to Chili's with Megan, and Evelyn was there. And I'm saying, I speculate, I agree with the state's timeline, even though it took a lot of digging, that this must have been December 6th of 2019. Some people say it was dinner. I think it was lunch. Why? Because of text message timestamps. There's a small chance that they went to Chili's on December 13th, but that would really mess up the timeline. And that's where it becomes interesting, because then like, okay, what kind of reasonable doubt are we working with here of where Megan was and did Hunter know and all of that. However, the state showed so many of Hunter's text messages, which we're going to look through, and his timeline and everything, that I do not believe that he met Evelyn and that he was involved in her death at all. Okay, so based on everything that I've seen and the amount of deep diving that I've been doing to try to clear this up, Caitlin Carter went to Chili's with Megan. Evelyn was there, and it must have been Friday, December 6th of 2019, because it's 5 years later, right, when she's testifying. So she testified saying it's when her school semester ended. She also mentioned when her classes were finished, and also said when her exams were finished. That's where it gets tricky, because her classes finished on December 6th. If you look at the actual college calendar, which thank you to everyone who sent that to me. You guys are amazing. You're like, look at this, look at this. I'm like, oh my word, I'm looking. Okay, so classes ended December 6th. Exams officially finished December 13th of 2019 for Caitlin Carter. But if you listen carefully to her testimony, even though at some points it gets a little confusing, everything she says collectively, it just makes sense. And the text messages and everything we're going to see just now, that's a South African saying, which means soon in the next upcoming slides, would corroborate that she saw Megan and Evelyn on Friday, December 6th of 2019. She said that Evelyn was dirty. She could smell her from across. They were sitting in a booth, like from across the booth, and it was terrible. And she was concerned, of course, about like Evelyn's well-being, especially with Megan's behavior in the next weeks after that. So, December 6th of 2019, at 7:21 p.m., Megan told her friend Bailey that she was going to Hunter's house. Big red flag that. Because where was Evelyn? when exactly did Evelyn die? If she was last seen alive on December 6th, these dates now, coming up, are very important. Now, I just wanted to highlight this, that on Monday, December 2nd of 2019, Hunter T's Chicken Shack opened, okay? And as you can see, that screenshot is actually from, it's Hunter Wood on the right-hand side with a picture next to his dad as well. And so, sorry, it was cropped like that on LinkedIn, on Hunter's LinkedIn. So that's why his dad is cropped out like that. But you can see him testify if you go to, I think, which trial day was it? I think it was day 3. You could find it in timestamps, right? So look at Hunter T's Chicken Shack that that Hunter shared. It says there, Monday to Saturday, 6:30 to 2, closed on Sunday. So I don't know if they started by closing at 2 and later extended their hours also, you know, to close at 6. And for anyone wondering why the hell would they open so quickly if they're a chicken shack, they also serve breakfast, okay? So you can look up the menu if you want to. It's now permanently closed, but they also serve breakfast, and that's why. Now, again, Megan told Randy that she didn't need to work her schedule around a baby. She admitted that she had a baby girl, but said that Ethan had her. Here's what's absolutely devastating, is when you look at the map, okay, from Sugar Hollow Road, where Megan's trailer was, to Hunter T's Chicken Shack is a whole 11-minute drive. So she was 11 minutes away from her daughter. And instead of driving in lunch break or in a break or worrying about her, she just left her there in the trailer. Basically, to just be so neglected, to have such dirty diapers that she had diaper rash like people had never seen. Right? We'll hear about that later. It was some of the babysitters were like, it was really terrible, like really blistery, a rash, itchy, shame. So, yeah, just look at that. That infuriates me. 11 minutes? You were an 11-minute drive away from home at this job. The minute that she laid eyes on Hunter Wood, it was literally out of sight, out of mind for her daughter. She just wanted Hunter. And that's based on a lot of evidence that they showed at the trial, if you do want to check it out. So, now, Tuesday, December 3rd of 2019, Megan to her foster mom, Gail. She said, "Do you think your sister would babysit and let me pay her at the end of this week? I just got a job but won't get paid until next week. I just started today." Okay, let's zoom in for you. Then Gail said, "Yes, I know she would." Megan said, "What's her number? Sometimes, oh, mommy gets sick and she already keeps her for school. I talked to her. She said that was fine." And then Gail says about her sister, "Sue wants you to call her. She wanted to know if you had a pack and play that you could bring." And Megan says, "I'm at work. Yes, I have one." Okay. Now this is extremely important, which is why the state said in their closing arguments that they think that Sue Whitson was the last person to see Evelyn alive. Obviously besides Megan. So she babysat Evelyn 3 to 4 times. She said it was about the last week of November, the first week of December of 2019. Based on these text messages, we can see where the conversation started. "Do you think your sister would babysit and let me pay her at the end of the week?" You see that? December 3rd. If she says she babysat Evelyn 3 to 4 times, 3rd, 4th, 5th, maybe the 6th. Okay? 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. Makes sense to me. Now, the last day of babysitting, she says that Megan picked Evelyn up late, 10 or 10:30 p.m. Now, we'll remember that time, okay? That's a clue, because then we're going to look at other text messages between Megan and her friends and just see what was she saying, what was she doing, right? And that's where it all starts coming together. We're like, ooh, that's how they got to the 6th. Wish they could have explained it to us. If I sound snarky, I'm still a little bit snarky. I'm still a little resentful that they didn't give us a great timeline. And especially for the jury, because things can go wrong in trials when the state doesn't make a clear timeline. So the jury understands. But the jury convicted Megan on all charges. So, and I personally think they got it right. I really think that Megan was absolutely horrendous and that she's responsible for Evelyn's death. Okay, so 10 or 10:30 p.m. last day of babysitting, picked her up late. Sue said that Evelyn had terrible diaper rash. She was very dirty and she smelled like urine when Megan dropped her off. every time. She said not just one time, every time. Her clothing was dirty, her face was dirty. And that's important because in the police video interviews that we got to see throughout the trial, Megan was saying she washes her shirt every day and like her clothing's never dirty. It doesn't matter if she wears the same shirt for 3 days, she'll wash it. No, she won't. A few days later, Megan said she didn't need her to babysit anymore. That's another giant red flag. Okay, so if we look at these text messages from December 21st at the bottom right of 2019, so that's a few weeks later, then Sue said, hey, I don't know why you don't want to pay me, but I sure could use the money. I'm broke out of gas. Please pay me. I hope I didn't do something to make you mad. And Megan said, I'm sorry, my baby daddy is taking me to court, which is a lie. That never happened. She said, I've had a lot of problems lately. I'm on my way and I'll put it in your mailbox. And then that was at 5:32 p.m. On December 21st of 2019, at 6:08 p.m., she said, sorry, I've been crying. I would have stopped and talked. She just literally put it in the mailbox and sped off. She said, I'm sorry it took me so long. It's just been a process and he has temporary custody of her. So I've not gotten to see her in days. The truth, she was stuffed in a trash bag, in a trash can, and left in an abandoned playhouse. Now that picture you see of Evelyn is the last picture of her taken alive, right? So shame, man. She's very sad. She had just turned 1 on November 21st of 2019. Okay, so Thursday, December 5th, 2019. Very important text messages between Megan and Crystal. Who's Crystal? Foster mom's daughter, so a foster sister. And she worked at the pediatrician's office. Okay, so I'm going to do it like this so that we can see. So it says, Evelyn had an appointment today. Do you need me to reschedule it for her 1-year well baby check? And it said, Casey missed your call. She said, yes, I thought it was tomorrow. And then Casey said, lol, where are you? And she said, work. Okay, so we go to the middle one. She said, it's okay, just don't want it to get behind on her shots. And Megan said, can my dad and Ashley bring Evelyn to the doctor? Hold on, sorry, it's very small, you know, I tried my best here. I've typed some out later, don't worry. Can my dad and Ashley bring Evelyn to the doctor for me? I've been busting my ass with work from 4:30 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. Oh, sorry, that says 6:30. I hope it says 6:30 p.m. Better, because it closes at 6, okay? And then staying after to clean too. And Casey said, yeah, they can bring her, that's fine. Do I need to make an appointment? And she said, when Dad wakes up, I'll ask when he can. Thank you. And then on December 11th of 2019, then Casey said, also, you know, there was, yeah, they can bring her. Do I need to make her an appointment? Megan said, when Dad wakes up, okay. And then Casey asked her, is she sick? Or for her well child check? And Megan answered, well child. Meanwhile, she was a deceased child at that point, okay? The truth is, she was deceased in the trash where Megan put her. How do we know Megan put her there? Lots of evidence, including her fingerprint on the trash can and her fingerprint on the foil that was found wrapped around Evelyn's face. Okay, so well child. And Casey said, okay, I will look through the schedule and see when I can get her in. And Megan said, okay, thank you. December 13th of 2019. Casey said, Evelyn coming today? And then she said, I need to know. Dr. Pugh was asking. She's not happy about her missing these appointments because now she said, oh, I thought it's the next day. And then she said, let's book another one. Then she misses it again. And she says, I need to know. Dr. Pugh was asking. She's not happy about her missing these appointments. And Megan's reply on December 13th of 2019 is, I'm switching her pediatrician to closer. I can pay for her missed appointments or whatever. Wow. Just missing Evelyn's pediatrician appointments and making up all sorts of reasons for it. So if you want to see the exhibits a little bit bigger, well, here's a bigger one. But you can obviously just go to the trial days, see where they testified, and just pinch and zoom, right? You can zoom in yourself as well. So Thursday, December 5th, 2019, text messages between Megan and her friend Bailey. Now, Megan's two best friends at the time would have been Bailey and Audrey, and actually there was also Caitlin. Caitlin Carter, right? Who we saw, that's the one that went to Chili's with her, plausibly on December 6th. Okay, so December 5th of 2019, text messages between Megan and Bailey. Now, Megan, hey, I'm still at the chicken shack. That was at 9:32 p.m. Megan says she's hanging out with Hunter at 9:51 p.m. At 10:29 p.m., she says, I genuinely enjoy hanging out with him. She then says, I left and came back after they closed just to see him. Okay, instead of going home to see her child, who at that point was plausibly still alive, even though extremely neglected. Megan said that Hunter's dad liked her and that she was the only one working overtime. Yeah, especially with this context, it's absolutely horrific. So if we go to the right-hand side there, then her friend said, God, that's so effing early, I couldn't. And Megan said, even if he does attempt to hit on me, this is now December 5th of 2019, even if he does attempt to hit on me, sometimes I brush it off. It's fine. I'm just genuinely so content. I literally don't even mind. That's when he's going to get there. Is that bad? And her friend said, let's hope he gets the hint. And Megan says, like, not even in a, oh, I like him content. I'm just content and happy around him. That sounds weird, but I am. And then her friend said, but if you don't mind and have someone to watch Evelyn, then definitely go for it. Shame. That must really haunt Bailey, you know? Thinking she was just encouraging her friend, like, okay, but obviously if you have someone to watch Evelyn, and okay, then go for it. Because obviously Megan is saying how much she likes Hunter in those messages. That's very clear. All right, so Megan then said on December 5th of 2019 at 10:57 p.m., I was so effing cranky when I came in, I won't lie. And it was like I felt better immediately being around him. My grandma was like, you just want to date him. And I was like, no, woman. Yes, obsessed with him, okay? Obsessed with him from December 2nd of 2019, from everything we saw. And then Bailey said, he seems like a nice Southern guy. Megan says, my grandma's keeping her overnight for 2 nights and all day. That was a lie. He's a pretty good guy. Like I said, I'm just so content around him. While her daughter's literally sitting in dirty diapers for days, neglected, okay? Besides, when she's dropping her off, obviously, at Sue Whitson's house, and Sue is giving her a bath and looking after her. But you know what I mean? She's not focused on Evelyn at all. Okay, so she's so content around him. And then Bailey said, that's good at least. And then Megan says, like I worked from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and came back at 7 to 9:30. And I just didn't mind. I washed dishes and helped him clean for a little bit. And the only time I left work was to go get him. Okay then. So she will literally be at this chicken shack, okay? Washing dishes, cleaning up, trying to get this man, while she's not washing her daughter. She's not spending time with her daughter. She doesn't care what her daughter's eating, if she's cold, if she's okay. Again, besides her being at a babysitter, okay? Now, she said, he makes me happy. I enjoy our friendship a lot. I didn't even care though. It didn't even feel that long. At 10:59 p.m., it's 11 and I have to go. I have to be back at work at 4:30 and I'm watching TikToks. No regard for Evelyn there. You see? I'll be there from 4:30 a.m. until like 8 at night or later. Bailey said, OMG. And Megan responded with, I don't even mind whatsoever. Megan told Bailey that Evelyn was with her grandma. So I hope no one's blaming Bailey. Bailey thought that Evelyn was with her grandma. Megan, she lied to everyone all the time. That's a picture, by the way, obviously, of Hunter T's chicken shack, where Megan just wanted to be all day, every day, without a care in the world for her daughter. Okay, Friday, December 6th of 2019. Text messages between Megan and Bailey. December 6th, 2019, that's 9:10 a.m. Megan said, I'm leaving at 11 and coming back at 12, so come by before then. That's where I speculate maybe Megan went for lunch or something at that point with Caitlin Carter at Chili's because of that gap there. But I'm not certain about it. I'm speculating that it could be there. She said, JK for jokes, I'm leaving at 10:44 12:45. So Caitlin's last class session before final exams was December 6th. All right. And so Bailey in between says, okay. And she said at 11:19 a.m., I'm back now. And then she said, I left again, but I'm with Hunter later that afternoon. And then Bailey said, fun? ? And she said, okay, you're literally giving up your life and your child to be with this man. But you're like, isn't that so upsetting? Okay, so then on December 6th of 2019 at 5:33 p.m., Bailey said, what are you doing? And Megan said, chilling with Hunter. No, Evelyn, okay? She said, I'm going to Hunter's house. Wish me luck. Now, that's the first time we hear she's going to Hunter's house. Then she said, oh God, good luck. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. December 6th, this side. December 6th of 2019, 11:30 p.m. I'm home now. I was over there for hours. Holy shit. We just talked. It was nice. Now, if Sue Whitson babysat Evelyn on December 6th, if it was on December 6th, that would have been the night then that I would think Megan picked up Evelyn very late. Either that night or the night before. Very late. Because look at when she's like, I'm home now, you know. Okay, so Saturday, December 7th of 2019. Text messages between Megan and Bailey. So Bailey says, how was everything? And let me just see. I just want to see. Oh, yeah, I did type that out. I'm just checking because I'm like, we're going to have to zoom in so much here. Megan said, good. I'm only coming and work a little bit today, but on Monday, come back and see me. I love you and have a good day at school. Also, Hunter's going to be there after 1, so that's probably when I'll come. So you should stop by then if you do come today because it's very awkward. Him being like, don't charge them because even employees don't get free stuff. And I know this one chick doesn't like me because of it. Like, I get all this free stuff and these other ladies don't like it. Right. They probably hate you even more now, knowing what you were really doing. Okay. So, like yesterday, she was bitching about him getting to leave to do business stuff. And then I left with him twice and she was obviously pissed when I got back. Yeah. If people really knew that you were neglecting your daughter and that you were about to throw her in the trash or had already the day before, yeah, they'd be very, very, very pissed. Okay, so then she said, I just feel bad because I know there's like 2 people who don't like me because of it, and it makes me feel like a piece of crap. Well, she was a much worse piece of crap than getting free chicken or something, right? At 3:43 p.m., Megan then says she's riding around and asks if Bailey wants to meet up, which is December 7th of 2019 in the afternoon, riding around. Is that the day that she went to the Playhouse? Is that the day that maybe Tommy Boswell saw Megan's vehicle there by the shed in the Playhouse? On his property, but closer to his mother's property, down the hill, right? He said he didn't see Megan, but he saw Megan's vehicle. The trunk was open and the doors were rolled up of the shed. Is that the day? Could it be? Or when? When was it? We don't know. We don't have a definitive date of when she disposed of Evelyn in the trash in the Playhouse. But I would speculate this riding around. I would think December 7th could be a bit of a plausible date. All right, so December 7th of 2019, there we go, 3:49 p.m. Okay, I'm driving, I can't text 1 second. Bailey said, okay. And then she said, where am I meeting you? And Bailey said, we're about to leave to the Bojangles in Piney Flats. You see, it's almost like Megan's like, okay, that's why I speculate that that day maybe is the day that she had put Evelyn's stuff in the shed and put Evelyn's body in the abandoned Playhouse. Maybe, okay? Speculating. But also because of how she's like, okay, where am I meeting you? Almost like, okay, I'm relieved. That problem is over. Now where am I meeting you? Is what it feels like. So then on December 7th of 2019, on the right-hand side screenshot, Megan said, I'm here. And then, you see this, Bailey said, okay, I'm sorry, I'll be like 15 to 20 minutes. And Megan said, it's okay, take your time. Thank you, like TY, right? It's just me. Evelyn's with Ethan's grandma. She's never said that before. Oh, now she's with Ethan's grandma. So, as we know, Megan made up lots of stories. She said that Evelyn was with her mother, with a random imaginary babysitter, with Ethan, now with Ethan's grandmother as well. Obviously, the lies came later. This is the first sign of like, oh crap, what? It's just, well, it's not the first sign. She was already saying, well, actually, this is December 7th. This is one of the first signs where she's like, it's just me. Evelyn's with Ethan's grandma. What? Now you see that little screenshot there. It looks like this if you expand it, okay? Megan then sends Bailey a screenshot. And the message is from Hunter, and the message says 6:40 or 9:40. So that screenshot is regarding a movie that Megan and Hunter were going to see on December 7th of 2019. The movie was called Dark Waters. It released in the USA a little earlier than December 7th, but apparently officially on December 6th, that it was like released everywhere. So Hunter was saying Dark Waters look good, and he said 6:40 or 9:40. Now, a side note, if you look at the screenshot, it looks like this is Megan's screensaver, which says Madison Lynn Broom. Who's that? Okay, very important as well to this case. Megan's friend, this lady, Madison Broom, died on Saturday, October 13th of 2018. And it was from a synthetic MJ. That's what killed her, right? A substance gone wrong. So, I would say, if you listen to the entire trial timeline, around that October time of 2019, Megan was already losing the plot. She was already talking to Ethan, she seemed a little bit disturbed around that time. And I'm just wondering if the trauma of losing her friend just like came back up and she was already like all unsettled. I'm not making excuses for her. I'm making plausible thoughts. Okay, I'm sharing plausible thoughts of what could have been going on with her because she clearly went downhill. Around October of 2018. Also, her friend was born on November 30th of 2000. So that's also very close to Evelyn's birthday, November 21st. Obviously, Evelyn was born in 2018, her friend in 2000. But that seems like a very traumatic event, of course, in Megan's life, losing her friend. Why it's also important is because Megan's, one of her interviews, which I think was her second interview, she did 3 media interviews, chronologically, if we look at it, was at the place where her friend, this one, is buried. And so we were speculating when we saw those interviews that she was probably saying, I just want her back. That she was talking about her friend. That she calculated that going to that location to talk to the media and for them to film her would conjure up the emotions needed to try to convince the public and the police that she was telling the truth about Evelyn. So if you didn't see it, you can go check it out. I've in fact put all the interviews together chronologically, and you can find them on Patreon. It's on a free tier, okay? We do have paid tiers if you do want to support the work that I do, but I do also post on the free tier. And there, if you just scroll through some of the most recent posts, or you can just search for Megan Boswell and you'll find it, there's the chronological interviews all put together with no interruptions if you want to see that for yourself, including the unedited ones that they showed us at the trial, which was amazing to see. Okay, that was quite something. And we saw Madison's mother. Well, we heard her. We heard Madison's mother sitting next to Megan in those interviews. And we did see a picture as well. So, yeah, I think that's a big trauma in Megan's life, and it will add to her disturbed psychology, right? Again, I'm not making any excuses. So Megan tells Bailey that she is going to go and watch a movie with Hunter on December 7th of 2019. She tells Bailey that Hunter didn't even ask if she wanted to go to the movies, that he caught her off guard by sending just the time options. Like he was just direct, like 6:40 or 9:40. Remember that she said she was going to Hunter's house the night before. So the next day, Hunter was like 6:40 or 9:40. Dark Waters looks good, right? And she's like, oh my goodness, I was just like, he caught me off guard. Took me by surprise. Obviously, she wants to be romanced, and I don't know if he was ever really, truly on that page, So she said, everyone at work keeps asking us if we're together. And when I say no, they don't believe me. At 8:04 p.m., Bailey asks how the movie was. So clearly they went to go watch the 6:40 one, because he said 6:40 or 9:40, right? And Megan was going to meet Bailey there at Bojangles, was waiting there for her. So she obviously was only there with them for an hour and a half or so, and then she bolted to go to the movies, with Hunter. And then at 8:04 p.m., Bailey said, how was the movie? And Megan said, it was fine. And Bailey asked, like, didn't you enjoy it? And Megan says that the movie was just kind of long, but she liked getting to see Hunter. See? She wanted to get in his pants. She didn't want to watch a movie. She's like, we're really just going to go there and watch a movie? Like, I'm in the friend zone over here? After giving up my child? Is what it sounds like to me. Okay, feel free to comment below your thoughts, right? All right, so then, Sunday, December 8th of 2019. At 1:53 p.m., Megan says that she's with Maddie's brother, this Madison Broom, her friend, Maddie's brother, at the chicken shack. Megan confirms that the chicken shack isn't open. They're just working on stuff. She says she's just chilling. That's what Megan tells Bailey. Megan tells Bailey that Hunter is there. They're just chilling. So it's basically Megan, Hunter, and Madison Broom's brother, Stephen Lawrence, who testified at the trial. So, Sunday, December 8th of 2019, Megan visited Stephen Lawrence because he had this apartment building that he had built and was going to name after his sister, the one who died. And Megan went out there, I guess to support him in that. And she contacted him again in February of 2020, asking for help, right? And he then confronted her and he said, after Evelyn was reported missing, she's like, I need your help. And he's like, what the hell? And then he said, you know what? In December when I saw you, was Evelyn missing at that time already? And she admitted, yes, she was. That was huge at the trial as well. That was quite a moment. So December 9th of 2019, Audrey Gibbs gave birth to her daughter. Megan and Bailey drove there to see her, right? Together, and there would be Knoxville, Tennessee. And Bailey confirmed, no, Evelyn wasn't with them, December 9th. And so, yeah, no Evelyn. So you can start piecing this together and you can see why the state said December 6th of 2019. This is why we need chronological timelines, because after I did this, I'm like, oh, okay. Now, December 8th of 2019, there's a message with someone called Haley, another friend, and it says you called Haley, so I missed call. She said, I'll have to double check. Her dad has her, but I should have an extra. I don't think I sent them all with him, but then again, I might have because I'm irresponsible. And the friend said, okay. And she said, I have none here. We got some. So I can't even remember what they were referring to, but I'm showing you that because on December 8th, she's already like, maybe like her dad has, okay, yeah, because I'm irresponsible. So she admitted on December 8th of 2019 that she's irresponsible. And then the screenshot on the right-hand side isn't right now chronological. It says obviously January 13th of 2020, but it was the only place I could really put it in this presentation because of just how much space we used just now. So just let's look at it. January 13th of 2020, that is when Megan said to a friend, I lost custody of Evelyn to Ethan and I've been in a mood. I really don't want to deal with this shit right now. I've not told anyone but you that. He told me our court date was a different date than what it was. And I didn't know, so I was late to it. And then that friend said, Dan, that's some effed up shit. You could probably call a retrial. And Megan said, I'm trying to. I've not even told anyone that happened yet. I just don't want to deal with them, Like they always drag me into their problems and bitch at me for being in their problems after they put me in the middle. Now, the thing about that was a huge moment at the trial as well, because that was a tone of saying, I lost custody to Ethan, which was a complete lie. Okay, there was no custody battle going on. So I lost custody of Evelyn. That was a big statement. So January 13th of 2020. But now, let's go back to this timeline. December 8th of 2019. That is what she told her friend Haley, that she's irresponsible. All right. And we agree. Friday, December 13th of 2019. Megan and Bailey messages. Megan says that Hunter's dad drove his car to work because his dad's had a flat tire. She said she left his house early and that Hunter didn't say good morning. It was more get out. And then it sounded like, and I've listened to it 5 times. Please go listen to her testimony, Bailey Hawkins, because at that moment, even whether you get the transcription, whether you put on closed caption, it says something like, get out of my Lexus and then scoop her up or scoop it up, or I don't even know what they're saying. Okay, but she was upset because Hunter basically didn't say good morning and said something along the lines of get out. Okay, Interesting. At 5:06, Megan asked Bailey to ride around with her because she is upsetty spaghetti. This is on December 13th of 2019. Megan says she's so effing irritated. She says Ethan had come back to town from army leave and got emergency custody of Evelyn. So now lots of lies start happening. Lots, okay? And so Saturday, December 14th and Sunday, December 15th, Megan stays at an Econolodge. She says she finds it really hard to see Evelyn's things and is in a custody battle with Ethan. I wonder as well if this could be the day, December 13th, that she was riding around, she was upsetty spaghetti, if that was when she had disposed of Evelyn. I still think plausibly the day I said before, but it could also be on this day, you know, because she's driving around, asking a friend to drive around. She says she's upsetty spaghetti, but it sounds more like she's upset in this context with her boyfriend, Hunter. Okay, and Ethan had not yet come back to town. Okay, and didn't get emergency custody of Evelyn. She also told Caitlin Carter that Ethan got emergency custody after seeing a bruise on Evelyn's forehead. So, Saturday, December 14th, Megan stays at the Econolodge. She finds it hard to see Evelyn's things and is in a custody battle with Ethan. She told Bailey that she didn't want to stay with Hunter that night because she didn't want to be all lovey-dovey because she was upset over Evelyn. Bailey stayed with her on the 14th, and she said that Megan was acting tired and dissociated. Just remember, this is one of my pet peeves, that there's a difference between disassociated and dissociated. And if you re-listen to it, she says tired and dissociated, so out of it, like kind of out of it, dissociated, right? Okay, so that was on that day, and then let's just look here. On December 14th of 2019, she said, I'm going to go ahead and head your way, take your time. I'm just sad without Evelyn knowing what Ethan's done, and I hate going home seeing her stuff there, but not her, you know. Then Bailey said, okay, I just got out of the shower, but I need to get dressed and everything. And Megan said, it'll be a second before I'm there. Like I said, take your time. I'm just avoiding going home. Like I was fine before. It just hurts knowing I can't see her than having to look at her stuff. And she said, yeah, your birch is here. Okay, so I will now speculate, I always tell you when I'm speculating, that Megan saw Hunter Wood on December 2nd of 2019 and decided this is my guy. And the Boswells were a wealthy family, and I think she saw money and she wanted a new life for herself, okay? So if you look at those text messages, I think there might be some truth to it, maybe. Megan really felt this was now very difficult without Evelyn, especially since I think in her own mind she'd given up everything to be with Hunter. And maybe she realized at that point that it wasn't really worth it, especially because he wasn't all that into her. If she were to read the room, she would know that, right? On December 13th of 2019, Megan told Crystal Saltz, that's her foster sister, that she'd be switching to a new pediatrician. December 14th to 16th, Megan stayed at the Econolodge. December 15th of 2019, Megan told Bailey that she was staying at Hunter's house and would let her know when she had her car again. She said that her car was at the shack and she was at his house. This car story is also interesting because Megan told Hunter's dad that her car got repoed, even though her dad had paid $20,000 cash for it. And in one of the text messages, she was kind of saying that her dad took it back. So I don't even know what was going on there. It sounds to me like just another one of her stories. Megan went to Ripley's Aquarium with Hunter, which is the picture on the right-hand side. Caitlin received the photo. She believed this to be in mid-December. Tommy Jr., so Megan's brother, Tommy Sr., Megan's dad, and family, and Megan and Hunter went to Pigeon Forge after Christmas of 2019. So that's a little more of a serious relationship because, of course, it's like Megan and Hunter know Evelyn's side, right? Hunter said he never met Evelyn. He only saw pictures of her and he'd heard about her, but he heard that Evelyn was with Ethan. But this little family trip says there's obviously some commitment going on there. And they went to Pigeon Forge, right? And Evelyn was not with Megan. She said to everyone that Evelyn was with Ethan, the father, and as we know, that's not the father. In December of 2019, Austin Feller cleaned out Megan's trailer. December 15th to the 30th, Ethan was visiting family for the holidays, and Megan said that Evelyn had the flu, because now he wanted to obviously see Evelyn. He would have had Christmas gift for her, wanted to spend some time with her, especially because Megan had stalked his ass all the way in El Paso, Texas. So he's like, okay, where is she? And she's like, oh no, Evelyn's got the flu. So she's keeping her away from everyone, right? So December 22nd of 2019, there was a Christmas play. Gail Kite said that Megan and Hunter were at that Christmas play, which was a children's Christmas play, which is very horrendous to think about Megan going there without her child, knowing that her child's in the trash in the playhouse, because she would have known. And she's going to this Christmas play with Hunter. All right, December 23rd of 2019, Paul Miller, that's Ethan's grandfather, wanted to give Evelyn Christmas gifts. So Ethan and Megan went to his house. He said same time, same car, but Evelyn wasn't with Megan. Megan said that Evelyn had the flu and was staying with her grandmother. Bailey asked for pictures of Evelyn that day and didn't receive any. And she was very sad about that. Christmas of 2019, Paul Miller wanted to see a video of Evelyn opening these gifts that he gave to her, and he did not ever receive a video. Megan told him, though, in a text message that, yeah, Evelyn liked her gifts. But obviously no one could see any evidence of that. No proof of life. December 23rd of 2019. That's a picture of Ethan Perry, who Megan was telling everyone was the father of Evelyn and who testified, right? The one that was in the army. So December 23rd of 2019. Ethan Perry. My phone messed up and I'm at Verizon. Yes, I'm still going to Paul's, which is his step-grandfather. Megan said, Evelyn is sick, so I'm not bringing her around everyone. If you want to see her tomorrow, just you can. And then Megan said, but she has the flu, and I don't think being around a ton of people is such a good idea. And he said, it sounds good. My grandpa would like to see her soon, though. Sherry is about to go into hospice soon. She stopped taking her chemo. Just whenever Evelyn feels better. Now, Sherry was Paul's wife, right? And do you think that Megan had any empathy for that situation, saying Sherry's about to go into hospice soon? Megan, and then Ethan says, is she okay? Because Megan's not responding at that point yet. And she said, okay, yeah, she's fine. No, I'm so sorry to hear about Sherry. Nothing. Just no empathy, no capacity for empathy. Okay, Ethan said, everyone has the damn flu around here. And Megan said, she's just sick and I don't want her around everyone. Do you want to meet me there and then get a ride together? So Megan picked up items for Evelyn before her trip with Hunter to Pigeon Forge. So she was going around picking up all these gifts that Evelyn would never get. December 26th of 2019, she told him that this would be him being Ethan Perry, that Tommy, her dad, had kicked her out again. And she wouldn't get Evelyn back until she has a place to stay. Later, Megan told DCS that Ethan had Evelyn since Christmas Day of 2019. So you could see she just lied to everyone and banked on them not talking to each other. Now, late December, Megan told Caitlin that Ethan saw a photo of a bruise on Evelyn's head and got emergency custody. She met Megan at the Pinnacle in Bristol, Tennessee. No sign of Evelyn. And that Tommy Sr. called Megan while they were there. And Megan told him that she'd get Evelyn back from Ethan around, February 1st of 2020. Always buying herself time. January 19th of 2020. Audrey Gibbs, Megan's friend, asked Megan how Evelyn was doing. She said good. And then she said she's with Ethan. On January 20th of 2020, there was a photo of Megan with Hunter at Blowing Rock in North Carolina. January 24th of 2020, Megan tells Bailey that she'll pick Evelyn up next Monday. She says she's pregnant and wants a little boy so bad. She also told Audrey that she was pregnant. So now she's telling multiple friends in January that she's pregnant with Hunter's child. What? Okay, so February 18th of 2020. That day, very important, Tommy has had enough. He wants to see his grandchild. No more of this Ethan having her. No more of the lies. He's calling DCS to report Evelyn as missing. So DCS visited Megan at Hunter's house. I don't know why. I don't know if she asked Randy Wood, Hunter's dad, please can I just come to your house because DCS is going to come and they just want to check that everything's okay. I don't know. I don't know because I don't think that she stayed there from mid-December until February 18th. I just don't think so. I think she was somewhere else between the trailer and a friend and the Econolodge and who knows who else or where else. But okay, DNA test rules out Ethan as Evelyn's father. He's also ruled out as a suspect in the disappearance because after that, the police are now on board. They go straight to Ethan's barracks because he's in the army. They search it. They question him. They interrogate him. They take his DNA. And they're like, oh, wow. So all of that was a lie? Sorry about that, sir. So February 23rd of 2020, cadaver dog searched Tommy's property. He said he saw searchers looking on another part of the property, but not near the shed or playhouse, because I know so many people do not understand how they missed Evelyn being inside that playhouse, decomposing inside the trash. How did they miss that if there's cadaver dogs there? Tommy said they weren't in that area when he looked. So maybe they just weren't there in that area. It's a big property, right? I think it's 10.9 acres. So they were looking all over the place, but maybe not there. That's the only explanation that I would have. So March 6th of 2020. Wait, pause. I know some people say maybe Megan put Evelyn there afterwards. Could be, but they'd gone to check the trailer. They checked lots of places. So I would just think that they just missed it on that day. March 6th of 2020, Tommy suggests that police search the shed and playhouse because he remembers, wait a minute, I saw Megan's vehicle there at some point. Okay, maybe you should check that. So they come back to the house, they check the shed, they check the playhouse, and Evelyn is found in a trash can in the playhouse. The medical examiner testified that she died from 4 types of asphyxiation. I would recommend going to listen to her testimony to get the full details on that. Here's a Hunter Wood timeline quickly just to make sense of that as well. Megan started working at Hunter T's Chicken Shack on December 2nd of 2019. She told Randy Wood, Hunter's dad, that she didn't have to plan her schedule around a baby, that Ethan had her. Megan went to Hunter's house on December 6th of 2019. On December 7th, Hunter and Megan planned to go see a movie together, which was Dark Waters. They went to church together on Sundays because people saw them there, and that was throughout December, January, a little bit February, it sounds like, if you listen to all the witnesses, right? December 22nd of 2019, Megan wanted to introduce Hunter to foster mom Gail Kite. And when Gail said, well, I'm going to church, they're like, okay, I'll meet you there. Like Megan really wanted to introduce him to her foster mom, right? Met her at the church to do that, which was the children's Christmas play. Megan said that Ethan had Evelyn because, of course, everybody asked her. Gail was like, where's Evelyn? No, Ethan has her. Okay, but everyone noticed she didn't seem scared, sad, worried, nothing. Just happy. She seemed happy. Now, after Christmas, she went to Pigeon Forge and the Ripley's Aquarium. I'm saying and because I think that happened around the same trip, even though it sounds like the aquarium was like mid-December and the Pigeon Forge trip was actually after Christmas. The location is like so close together, Pigeon Forge and that aquarium, that I'm like, yeah, that was probably all on the same trip. Especially because there were 2 other people that they said were with Megan and Hunter, which I would think would be Megan's brother and maybe his family or something. Okay, so January 8th of 2020, she told Erica Stacy that her and Hunter, Megan told Erica Stacy, you know, ex-boyfriend Caleb's mother, that her and Hunter were more or less a couple. And so these are messages between Erica Stacy and Megan. And so Erica said, okay, what does Evelyn think of Hunter? And Megan said, she's not really been around him much because Ethan's in and has her a lot. He won't get another break until he's out in December. So that's her admitting that, yeah, Hunter actually didn't meet Evelyn is what it sounds like, because that's what Hunter said. He said to the media, I never met the child. I never met her. I've just seen pictures of her, right? Now, December 27th of 2019, messages to Hunter Wood. She said, text me again so I have your number. I ended up just swapping phones with her, which I think was Ashley, her dad's fiance. Her dad said that they swap phones a lot, and I don't know why. I don't know why they did that. Why did they do that? Does anyone know? So then she said on December 28th, hey, I'm going to leave here soon. Ethan and I talked and he's going to stay home. He thinks that's what would be best. Also because I'm obviously not a very stable parent right now and Evelyn doesn't want to come home with me. Okay then. So that's what she's telling Hunter. January 20th of 2020, Megan told Bailey that she had gone to Blowing Rock, North Carolina that day. January 24th of 2020, Megan is telling Bailey and friends that she's pregnant. So this is the Hunter Woods relationship timeline, right? February 18th of 2020, Megan was staying at Hunter's house because DCS went there. February 2020, Erica picked Megan up at a Walmart in Bristol, Tennessee, because Megan said she had nowhere to go. So that's interesting as well. You know, this relationship sounds quite rocky. So Megan said that she didn't know where Evelyn was because Eric was asking. So she's like, I'll pick you up at the Walmart there in Bristol. Tell me, where's Evelyn? I don't know. She said that Ethan wasn't answering calls. She just doesn't know. As if she just was not concerned, had given up hope, or whatever one would interpret from that, right? Okay, so these now were exhibits shown at the trial, and it's based on what Megan posted to Instagram. On February 16th of 2020, 2 days before Evelyn was reported missing by Tommy Boswell Sr. I think Megan thought she was in the clear. Enough time had passed. No one's going to know. No one's going to report her missing. She's with Ethan. She wasn't, but the lie. She thought she'd sold it. So she boldly posts on Instagram, so excited for our new home. Don't even know what that's all about. Were they really getting a new home? What is going on? I don't know. February 17th of 2020, I know they'd applied to rent an apartment. There was a form filled in that said Hunter's details. I don't know if he signed it or she signed it or what was going on. She tends to take a seed, plant it, and then just fantasize about it in her own mind without it even being reality sometimes, right? She's just like, this is going to be our new home, but was it? Was it really going to be the new home? I don't know. But then she said, picking out furniture for our house. So that was posted on February 17th of 2020, 1 day before everything changed for her. February 18th of 2020, she said, so proud of my baby, new 2020 high, country. Now we get to the text messages because Evelyn is reported missing on February 18th of 2020. DCS goes to Hunter's house. Okay. They're looking for Evelyn in the barracks in Texas, where Ethan is. And so February 19th of 2020, it's interesting to see these text messages, okay, between Megan and Hunter. She said, hey, I have no clue why you're mad at me, but I've been waiting for mom for effing hours at the BP. Can I please come sleep in your truck if I can get a ride? Like, seriously, I've not done anything for you to be mad at me. I love you and I was supposed to leave so long ago and I tired as effing hell. I'm also pregnant with your child, so you could let me sleep in your truck, which is a lie. She was not pregnant, okay? They proved that when she was arrested, she was not pregnant. Now, I'm just going to come anyways and sleep in it when I can find a ride. I'm so tired and I needed you tonight, but thank you, Hunter. I might just say F it and come in. This is like major red flag for stalker vibes, right? He's not even answering. She doesn't care about his boundaries. She has no regard for anyone else. She's like, I'm going to sleep in your truck because I'm pregnant with your child. Lies. And so I might as well just say F it and come in. What? Then she said, I'm going to. I tried to call. So there was a missed call. You could see it in gray there. Hunter missed your call. Wow. February 22nd of 2020. More messages to Hunter Wood. She said, hey, I've just texted you. So just so you know, it's really me. And he replied, change your Facebook name. Because she changed her social media names to Maggie Wood. She took his surname. No, he had not proposed. No. But he's like, change your Facebook name. She said, I will in a few. Will you please bring me a change of clothes? TBI is in North Carolina with my mom. Literally, I don't care what the clothes are. I just don't have anything at the moment. And he said, they said there was no baby with her though. I'm at my mom's. Okay. So I don't know where his mom's was at that point because his parents were divorced. I don't know exactly when they got divorced, but Randy would testify that they are divorced, that the mom is in Virginia, and that Hunter Wood is in a mental health facility now. And that's why he could not testify at the trial. So February 22nd of 2020, meaning, sorry, if we go back, when he said, I'm at my mom's, I don't know exactly where that was. Like, did he leave? Did he go to Virginia? Or where was he, right? So February 22nd of 2020, more messages to Hunter Wood. She said she's still under arrest and being questioned. Can you do that for me though? And she's talking about her mother. Then he says, yeah, but where's the baby? I just want the baby to be found safely. And she says, Dad won't let me go anywhere because of the situation. Hunter, I can't disclose stuff to you on here about what TBI is doing. And then he says, but please assure me that the baby will be found and brought home safely. Yeah, he's very worried about her at that point, right? So then February 22nd of 2020, more messages to Hunter Wood. Hunter, I have full faith in the TBI and everyone I've spoke to that they will get the truth out of my mom and bring my baby back to me. Can you come talk, or your mom? I just can't disclose anything much more over the internet at this point in time, or over the phone, and I hope you can understand that. Yeah, don't incriminate now, don't self-snitch. She said, if you don't want to, I'll speak to your mom and she can tell you. Also, tell her thank you for reporting the car missing. There's a whole story about that. If you want to watch the trial prep, you can learn more about that. Then she said, also tell her, yeah, thank you for reporting the car missing. If mom has told you anything that is off-putting, please let me know. Off-putting? You're worried about being off-putting now, in this situation. Shouldn't you be worried about your child? Then she said, if she told you anything at all, please tell me, please, anything at all. Did she ever mention Mendota to you? And I was hoping I'd never have to say that word ever again. I'm going to have to say it a few times now because we heard it so much in Megan's police video interviews and all the media interviews where she's like, Mendota? Like she just came up with her moms in some campground in Mendota. What? Anyway, and so she said, did she mention Mendota to you? She kept trying to take me there and I'm trying to find a ride up there to go looking. Well, if your mother supposedly stole your child and took off to Mendota but invited you to go along, wouldn't you go? She's like, she kept trying to. Her stories make no sense. February 22nd of 2020. She said, so please let me know if you know anything about Mendota. I know it's late, but you could take me somewhere in Mendota, along a river. Mom used to talk about it. Then you said, get your dad or TBI to take you. Nice. And then she said, I can't get a hold of David and there's no way in hell Dad will take me. Now, what's really concerning is that during the trial, we were speculating, right? That what if she was saying, can you take me to Mendota along a river with a plan to dispose of Evelyn there? You know, because her body was still in the trash in the Playhouse. I don't know, man. I don't know if she's pretty dumb, so I don't know if that would have worked out or not or what her plan was. But that sounded pretty sinister, like take me there along a river. Like, what? So then she said, David's not replying to me, probably because they're down in NC dealing with my mother. Then he said, I'll contact Chris Wilhoit and see what he says to do. And she says, who is that? I don't know exactly where it is. And he replies, the leading TBI agent. And then, I made the colors wrong there. He said, the leading TBI agent, and she replied, I just know a river in Mendota. Someone told Dad that they wanted to talk to them. Oh, my word. She's like, a river in Mendota, somewhere there. Can you take me there? He's like, what the hell? Same place mom got arrested for trespassing, in Scott County, Holson River. And then he says, what does that have to do with the baby? And she says, the only place I know she might be connected in Mendota. Dad is on the phone with someone right now about who reported the car that she saw. She says she would only talk to Dad and that she had important information. Dad's on the phone with her recording the call. She's talking utter crap here. Okay, so again, February 22nd to 24th of 2020. He says, what did they say? And now she makes up even more crap. She said, my mom dropped the baby behind a church 3 days ago. They're looking into the church thing right now. She said a church, or 394. I think she said Feathers Chapel. Dad talked to her. I'm not sure, but I'm losing my shit right now and have no one. I have to find Evelyn now. It's been 3 days. No, it was 3 months at that point, okay? But here she's going, it's been 3 days already. What if she's cold and hungry? Hunter, please, no one will take me to look for her. Mom had to have dropped her off somewhere. Please help me find my baby. If you won't take me, I'm literally going to steal a car. I don't. Then she said, I'm sitting at Food City with the cops. Hunter, if she dropped her off 3 days ago, time is ticking fast. Hey, TBI has some sort of update, and I'm about to head up there. I'll let you and Melissa know. Oh my word. The audacity. It's been 3 days. No, it's been your deep, dark secret for 3 months. February 20th of 2020, Hunter Wood has his media interview. If you didn't see it, we watched it in Trial Prep Part 1. February 21st of 2020, Megan's first media interview. Isn't that interesting? He talks to the media, says this is not a serious relationship. It's just like very casual. I've never met the baby. Okay, this is my restaurant, Chicken Shack, which is his dad's restaurant. But it's called Hunter Tees. It's named after him, right? So I understand why he's like, this is my Chicken Shack. He was proud of it, okay? But his dad was the legal owner. But he speaks to the media on February 20th, and on February 21st, it's her turn now. She's going to be in front of the camera saying all sorts and escalating. He's like, whoa, get away from me. And if you were him, because some people say, well, obviously they traveled together. She stayed at his house. They were looking at apartments together. It was obviously more serious than he's letting on. Yeah, and even if it was, don't you think you would do the same in the situation and be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, it's not that serious. Like, I don't know. I've never met her child. What do you mean? Okay, February 24th and 25th of 2020, she does 2 more media interviews, and she's telling everybody, telling the world she's pregnant. She's expecting. She actually said impregnated. She can't do a polygraph because of it, which the police were like, we don't even have that equipment. We can't do polygraphs over here. And it's like, oh. So anyway, February 25th of 2020, Megan was arrested. July 13th of 2022, Hunter T's Chicken Shack closed down. Right, so I just want to put that in there in case you guys want to know when. On April 9th of 2023 now, Megan is in jail this whole time waiting for a trial which started in February of 2025. So I'm just giving you a Hunter Wood timeline of what happened to him after that. His dad said his mental health went really down the drain after Megan, and everybody had basically accused him of being a baby killer because she was telling people, well, Evelyn was sleeping between us one night, okay, and one of us rolled over her and we woke up like she wasn't breathing, so then Hunter said he'd get rid of her body. That's her story. That's one of her stories. So his dad, Randy Wood, said his mental health went completely down the drain. You know, it was severely affected by all of that, and the public blaming him for murdering Evelyn when he had nothing to do with her death. He just dated this crazy lady over here, okay? So, lying. I could say so many words. The point is that the Chicken Shack eventually closed down. On April 9th of 2023, Hunter lost his brother, Tanner Austin Wood. He passed away, allegedly from an overdose. March of 2024, Hunter was arrested on a DUI charge, and he also got an aggravated assault charge and resisting arrest. A lot of people look at them and say, see, he's aggressive. Okay, like it's a DUI. He was resisting arrest. I understand why it all goes together, right? I'm just saying, if people think Hunter is sus, he's no angel. He's not a baby killer. He wasn't involved in the murder of Evelyn, in my opinion. Okay, based on everything we factually saw from the court records, from the exhibits, and based on, everything the state showed us. I do not believe that he's involved at all. And I think it's really terrible to blame him for that. He might have a bit of a criminal past, but it's like DUIs. It's always DUIs. There's a bit of shoplifting, things like that. Okay. So what I mean is, I'm not trying to minimize that. I'm just saying that's very different to be accused of first-degree murder of a baby. So approximately December of 2024, Hunter Wood had this involuntary submission to a mental health facility in Virginia. Okay, so these on top of some of Hunter's mugshots. I'm showing it to you, loud and clear. He's no angel, but you could see shoplifting, DUI. This June 7th, 2024 one was for not showing up to court for one of those charges. And you could just see the change in him, right? Now, what I want to say might be a weird argument to make, but people look at him a lot like he's the boyfriend, he killed her, this. No, not according to the timeline, not according to the evidence, not according to any DNA evidence. Even if they say there was unknown male DNA on some of the gloves found in the trash, or, in places where you'd be like, that's so incriminating. They've explained that exactly, that could be someone who packaged the gloves. It could be anyone, okay? It doesn't mean it's Hunter's DNA. In fact, I think it means the opposite. So the point is, it was inconclusive, this unknown male DNA found on some of the items. Watch the trial, make up your own mind. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just going to say that unfortunately, Megan's family, they've got a lot of criminal history. I mean, she was at some point the only one, at her age and up, that hadn't been arrested. And later her younger brother, it's her older brother, Tommy Boswell Jr. So that's true. She was at her age and up. Everybody had been arrested. Mom, dad, the older brother, everything. Okay, you could see all their mugshots here too. And then the mother's boyfriend and all of that. So the point is, if you were going to point fingers at Hunter, then you'd have to point fingers at everybody. And I know everybody kind of does that, but let's not. The finger is to be pointed at Megan Boswell, the one who wanted a new life for herself and threw her baby in the trash. And that's been proven by all the evidence that they showed at the trial. If I was on the jury, I'd vote exactly how they did. What about you? Even though I think the state could have done better and fought harder for Evelyn. Okay. Now, trigger warning, because I'm going to show you a series of images. I think it's the next slide is very upsetting. Okay, so I'm going to put a timestamp to say trigger warning, very upsetting, and then another timestamp. So if you want to skip to the next one or just look away until I tell you can look again, then okay. So it's not too graphic, but it just shows how Megan wrapped Evelyn. Now this is the abandoned playhouse, okay? Here's the trash can. Evelyn was found in it. They took this trash bag off, they looked there, and inside was a trash bag. And you know what's so crazy is inside the trash bag, once they lifted eventually Evelyn out, at the bottom were all these dirty diapers and eggshells and cookie wrappers and things. So I was wondering if she put foil around her head, yes, one, to stop her from breathing, but two, almost because she was going to put her, for some reason, head first, like upside down into the trash. And if she had just put it in the trash like that, she would have gone face first into dirty diapers. So I don't know if in some really twisted way she was like, let me protect her face from that and put foil around her face. I don't know, man. I just don't know what that's all about, but it is absolutely horrendous. Okay, so here's a major trigger warning. These are some of the pictures that they showed at the trial. And you could see how they had, on the right-hand side, I've blurred out Evelyn's foot that they saw and part of her leg. She was wearing a dirty diaper and a penguin onesie. And weirdly, the onesie was unzipped. That is also so strange, even though she was tightly wrapped in this blanket. And I want to show you this so you can see the foil. Look how she wrapped foil around Evelyn's head. That is very, very strange. Okay, so we go to the next slide, and you can, if you looked away, you can look again. Now, some questions, and I have so many that remain, and I don't think we'll ever know. Even the state said we'll never know the answers to some questions. I can accept that. But some questions that I still have are, where exactly did Megan live throughout December of 2019 to February 26th of 2020? From then to when she got arrested. Why did Megan and her dad's girlfriend Ashley swap phones all the time? Why did Megan tell Hunter's dad that her car got repossessed? Did Tommy take it back? Why and how did Megan get around, and did she ever get her car back? When did Megan visit the Playhouse to dispose of Evelyn? Did her grandmother not see anything? I'm not blaming the grandmother, I'm just wondering, did she see anything or hear anything when Megan was putting everything in the shed in the Playhouse? Did she have some story for that? Why were there leaves in Evelyn's hair? That was interesting, almost as if she drove to that Playhouse with Evelyn and then almost like she lay on the ground and wrapped her there or something because there were leaves in her hair. That's weird. Where did Megan stay when she wasn't with Hunter? Why did Hunter's dad say that she only stayed there 2 or 3 times? And why did DCS visit her at their house on February 20th of 2020? Okay, so I hope that that helped you even just a little bit, because it certainly helped me. I was actually initially getting really frustrated making this timeline because there's so much. It was just like all over the place, the order of the witnesses and the exhibit shown and just everything. It was quite a mission. It was pretty difficult to do, but I'm glad that I did it, even for my own peace of mind, to know what the hell is the best chronological timeline that I can make based on what we saw at the trial. And I'm sure there's some extra points we can put in there, but it will be all day, as I say, if I had to summarize the whole trial. That's, I don't want to say the basics, because it's definitely more than the basics, but that's the gist of the chronological timeline. The very important dates, especially around the December 6th time, December 6th, 7th, 8th, are very much a red flag time for when Evelyn died and how she died. The medical examiners believe that she was put in that trash can alive. Can you imagine? Oh, my word. Okay, even though cross-examination with the medical examiner was, wow, you should watch that. You should check that out. That was quite something. So it became questionable, well, was she put in there alive or not? Did she die before and then she was wrapped that way? But then why would she be wrapped that way? That makes no sense either. Anyway, so I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it to the end, especially if you like bullet points, timelines, things like that, presentations. Thank you for supporting the work that I do. A great way to do that is watch the videos, watch the playlist, watch the trial replays, whatever. Like, share, engage, meaning comment, all of that really helps so much. And thank you to everyone that's a member. If you're a super supporter as well here on YouTube, that's the second membership tier. and especially if you've made it over to Patreon. Thank you so much. If you want to check out ways to support me, the work I do, or our moderators, you can head to grizzlytruecrime.com and you can go to the join/support page and you'll see all the ways there. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and I'm glad that there's been justice for Evelyn. I know that the defense has already filed a motion for a new trial. That's standard. We see that all the time, right? So now the judge has to decide, is he going to grant that or deny that? I don't know. I don't see it happening. If it does, we'll watch the trial all over again. And let's hope the state brings a better timeline. Right? Will this help? I hope so. Also, May 22nd of 2025 for now is her sentencing date. And I'm pretty sure after that we'll see appeals being filed, because that's also part of the process. But Megan will only be eligible for parole, like, I think they said 51 years from now. Yeah. When she's 69, and that's if the judge doesn't add on more time. So we shall see. In the meantime, thank you so much. Stay safe, and I'll see you again very soon.